Hey everyone, um, just want to start off this video by apologizing. When I read about the Indians of the Golden Hills in Connecticut, I'm going to tell you I misread where they founded their city. Okay, and I can tell you how I made the mistake. When I was reading it, I got to the section where it points out that the Indians sold the Golden Hills, right? And they founded a town called Ethiop or Liberia, right? And when I clicked on the Ethiop link there from Wikipedia, it took me to West Africa and it showed you Ethiop and Liberia. Well, went back and I was reading the article and it says that they founded a place called Bridgeport, Connecticut, that was they called it Ethiop or Liberia. So I just want to apologize for wasting your time. You know, it was one of the fears I had when I was contemplating making videos. When asked, just I didn't want to waste your time. I didn't want to mislead you. There's enough of that going on. You don't need another person doing it. So I'm just saying I'm sorry. With that aside, I have found a few other things, and I've had them for 2 weeks, and I've been reading over them. So just to try to make sure I get everything right when it comes to this. Number one, I've been reading about a gene. It's called Gene E, right? The article I'm going to leave, it's about horses, okay? Now this gene is what they believe is causes the horses to have either, and it specifically says black pigmentation or a red pigmentation. Now when you check out the red is obviously the definition of ruddy, because if you and I got some sun and stood up next to these horses, we would look just like the horses they're calling red, but we would call it brown. See what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave that there because I thought that was interesting. I was actually reading about haplogroup E and its effect on populations in the Mayan culture, I believe it was. I bought a book that was explaining haplogroup E, which I always thought was hard to really explain because it seems like they only want to make it, haplogroup E dedicated to West Africa and West Africa alone. Well, the book I purchased from a YouTube author, he has explained that haplogroup E can be found in Mexico among the remnant of the Mayan people. So I was excited because, even with the messed up DNA testing that they give you, someone else was smart enough to figure out that it's not all true what Wikipedia, what Ancestry is always saying. So I was happy to find that what I have could be traced right here in the Americas. Haplogroup D was the other one, and it also explained how, a lot of scientists don't want to give credit to haplogroup D being anywhere outside of Near Asia, and they don't want to let you know that the so-called Nigerian, right, has haplogroup D and E. The males do. It's the article read, so I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm gonna leave that in the description box. And believe me, I'm open to any comments about that because I think it's interesting. And does that gene E equate to any of us? I know I just was wondering, What was the other thing? Oh yeah. So reading about the founders of Liberia, or the society that specifically wanted to found Liberia, 4 names got brought up, and I believe I was reading about was it called the Greenville Society? Which you got to sit back and wonder, why is there a Greenville in nearly every state? Lived in Florida, we got a Greenville in Florida. Lived in South Carolina, same thing. North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Alabama. There's a Greenville nearly everywhere. And when they set up, Liberia, they had to have a Greenville over there. They had to have a Georgia over there. You had to have a Virginia over there. And then the Mississippi River, Um, but I was reading about the Mississippi River and the Society of the Mississippi River, and four names got brought up, along with I believe it was the Greenville Society. Now, the name that when I started looking through the names of these guys and seeing if they said anything interesting about the complexion of Indians back here in the Americas, right? And Henry Clay was the only one that said something interesting. Ancestry uh, Ancestry.com got brought up in a whole article about how he purchased, I believe it was 7 Indians, and I remember the article reads that a few of them had to go to court to prove that they were Indians and not, slaves. And it specifically stated this one, she proved that she is the granddaughter of Choctaw Indians. And after she proved this, the way my mind comprehended it, it seemed like she had to, how would you put it? Once she proved that she was a Choctaw, to save herself from the Indian traders, it says, she ends up registering herself as a free person, so they can't capture her again. And by registering as a free person, she registers as a free Negro. Negro puts you into that black category, which took you away from your inheritance or your actual nationality. And then the rest of the article literally ends explaining Indians that were freemen or Indians that go to becoming slaves and Negroes. So that was one good thing that came out of just looking back into the whole Liberia situation. And there was one other topic. Oh, yes. So reading more about the Appalachian people, I came across this article, right, that midway down, it goes into the whole argument about, who are the fathers of the Appalachian people. They don't want to give credit to this to people like us. They keep wanting it to give it to someone else. And midway down the article, it actually starts to go into their DNA, right? Or at least it's in a statement. It just says their DNA, is a match for the tribe of Aaron and the tribe of Levi. I'm sorry. But they try to equate the match after they and you got to read this because the tricky part was they tell you that they were testing, I think it was like the males for their Y chromosome, but later on they go down the article and it tells you something about, their blood test, their DNA test positive for the tribe of Aaron and the tribe of Levi, but they try to equate it to the mothers, who they say the mothers of these, Melungeon Appalachian Indians are all, German, Scottish, Irish, British, those main, Germanic people. So I thought this was all interesting. When I get a computer, get a chance to get on a computer, I'll definitely pull it up so you can see it for yourself. And I'll leave everything in the description box, if you want to just go ahead and read it. And if you have any comments, about this stuff, I'm always open. I'm always open to hear from you. Anyways, once again, I just want to say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mislead you. And try to do better. Have a good night, everyone.